So, hello everyone, what is my review of My Hero Academia episode 81 or 18 season 4, and I'm called Breaky everyone! Oh, I love it, but I love that she is like breaky. It's like, okay, a British supporter, I guess. But yeah, no, it's they started really well, right? Started with Ashido doing the dance moves, and then it was a lot about, Kaminari x Jiro, right? Jiro x Kaminari, a lot about that love, right? And he's like, oh, but maybe you wanna be a musician, girl? I was like, no, I don't. It's like, oh, I know your secret, and so on, right? And I like that typical, boy loves girl moment there when she is saying that when they're asking everyone what I'm gonna do, right? She's like, I wanna do a skit. We see him like, no, you don't. She likes music, yeah. So in that sense, you can see he's very aggressive to her, right? Chip them, but he's like, yeah, I like you, yeah, kind of that, yeah. It's very Genki. But the thing, typical, for like a school romance thing, of course, is that the guy is, interested and actually knows what the girl is and knows when she's lying, right? He's interested in her, he's been observing her, and he knows when she is, of course, lying about stuff and so on, right? So, that's one of the reasons why it looks like a good scene, right? Because he's like, she's clearly being dishonest, and he wants to help her to be, fill out, live up to her dreams and potential and so on, right? Yeah, so it's like a nice little romance moment there when he's like, no, I will help her to reach her, to do what she actually want to do. Yeah, I will help her. Yeah, so I like that. I like that, right? Yeah, and then later on when they are all, when the other characters also like, maybe you can do the music, Jiro-chan, and she's like, oh no, I don't want to do it, because she's very like, she's kind of shy. It's like, but I believe in you. You're the best. You're amazing. And he's like, oh, well, if you say that. So yes, I think that was really cool. I really like it. Yeah, always ship them. But there's been so many scenes with them before, right? There's been those two, and of course Momo has several scenes together immediately in season 1, right? There's some, they're teaming up and so on, right? And we also see that during this episode when, it's kind of like Momo inside the two, right? Yeah, so Momo and those two characters are kind of like intertwined, right? Definitely, in the sense. Momo's more the all-protective mother, though. Yeah, or Onesha, but more like Casa, I guess. Definitely, she's more a refined older lady, right? Yeah, the Ara lady for sure. But so that's moment so on, and of course Ashido get her breaky stuff. Yeah. Anyway, so talk about I think the main topic of this episode, which is gentle, right? Gentle criminal. Yeah. So that is an interesting aspect of a bad guy. Definitely, it's gonna be more and more of this, right? So I think it's interesting from like a, how would I say it, bad future thing, right? Because it's obvious that this thing's going to happen more in the future. We're already having those kind of issues in current time. But people do like Facebook Live. I think Facebook live streams, for some reason, is the popular one to do bad stuff on. And then you live stream on Facebook, YouTube and so on. It happened to, but not that much. And I'm guessing, or it has to be, from a technical standpoint, has to be the algorithms, right? So while people complaining on YouTube actually does pretty well in that sense, because it is much harder to live stream to YouTube. I will know, but no, it's harder to live stream to YouTube and do this like gentle stuff, right? Yeah, it's harder because YouTube has a better algorithm, so on. So it stops you from the live, it blocks the live stream, whatever, right? To some degree. And he's using this kind of like fake, obviously a spoof on this kind of platform, right? But Facebook then, I know in particular, it's been a lot of incidents where people have been live streaming to Facebook with this kind of stuff happening here. And it's just like, there has to be, from a technical standpoint, my guess at least, that it is easier to do it on Facebook because they don't actually manage to, prevent it. They just kind of let it go up there. For a while at least, yeah, then usually it's get turned down. But there's been some really heinous stuff happening and people have been able to even save some people. There was one incident I remember that it's a few years ago, where they were like R-ing, and then they managed to call. Someone saw it, and they managed to call the cops, and the cops managed to get there and so on. Why it was happening? So there was some scenes for that, right? But anyway, the whole ideal damage gentle, I think, is interesting because it's definitely happening more and more in reality, right? So of course, in a super-powered quirk world, of course, someone would do a crime and videotape it or live stream it and so on, right? And they will do, and he seems to really incorporate that. He's clearly not like, how to say it? He is clearly not like overhaul, super. Yeah, he's not like he's not like a chaotic evil guy. He's not like, I wanna kill everyone or I wanna take over the world. In that sense, he's like a very lame villain in that sense, because I suppose he's more just like, I wanna be famous, right? Yeah, I don't know yet because this episode 1, but from him, episode 1 of him, but I think that from what we see from him so far, his goal is to be famous, right? So he doesn't have that it's like main manipulative, I wanna destroy the planet or I wanna conquer the planet, so on. So it's much more simplistic, right? But at the same time, people like him are, I think, interesting. People like him are gonna be one of the massive issues. Very, very likely, it's the issues that we're gonna have in the future, in our future too, right? Because people are gonna have more like, I wanna be famous no matter what, right? For example, we have the ice cream thing. Remember that stuff? They got people were licking ice cream and clearly illegal. They're doing that stuff, right, and then putting it back into the shelf and so on, and they got like reported and so on, which was great. But like that thing so stupid. Remember that water guy? That was super fun. They got it off the channel, yeah. There was like doing this like I don't want to say the words here because I probably got all the issues and probably from the platform, but H3 did have a good video about it. Yeah, he did this like pretend really bad stuff, right, with like water and so on, and then people would be freaking out and he would be like, oh yeah, that's so funny, it's a prank, bro, yeah, and so on, right, and he lost and in course he got like water and so on, and then when he got that, it was so funny because he did that stuff, the water prank thing, and he got issues for that, right, and then he did a defense video. He was like, have you seen my other videos? They're way worse. Yeah, I love that thing because he did a defense over that then, yeah, and then and he defended it by saying my other videos are way worse, right? They're more evil and so on, yeah. And then people were like, okay. People just went, and of course looked at all his videos, right? They were like, man, he's right. They're even worse. That was so stupid. That's like the ultimate stupidity. If someone is like, that's like the ultimate stupidity. It's like getting, convicted for like I don't know, a petty crime, like stealing a candy bar or something, right? And you're like, you yell me for that? Have you seen all my dead bodies in my garden? Yeah, it's like that, right? It's like this thing. Have you seen my other crimes I've done? Yeah, it's like. Okay, thank you for admitting your worst stuff. It's so stupid. That being said, though, there is actually a lot of cases where like famous like serial killers, like some of the worst ones, where they have been they have been arrested, they're caught, and they get like 5, 6 convictions, right, and they're like, yeah, you're gonna be prison for life, right? So they're screwed anyway. So usually they can't escape it. They're gonna have like a lifetime sentence, right? And there's many times then that they are like, actually, I killed like 50 more people. You wanna see? Because, and I can't logically kind of understand, right? Because if you're already screwed anyway, like, are you gonna have like a lifetime regardless? You might as well admit and say, well, actually, I did it way better than you think I did, because then you might as well like take credit for, and get more famous, right? So then I might, because yeah, you're already lost anyway, so you might as well lose as much as you can in that sense, right? Get a bigger fame, right? So. Which is crazy, of course, but in that sense it makes sense because you already are arrested. But there have been many cases where maybe someone got like 10 years or something, and they're like, actually I did this stuff too to get the fame, right, and then they get like 50 more years. So there is separate of that, and that guy is hilarious. But that guy is more hilarious because he did pranks, right? He did like bad pranks, and then he's like, oh, I did the worst pranks than that. I was like, okay, you're out. But this guy, Gentle, he really is, to me, it's that, right? He's all about getting famous, right? He's using his quirk, using his powers to do like petty stuff, right? To get like fame, yeah. He's a bad guy that makes, in my opinion, a lot of sense, right? Because we see it in the real world here, and we see that it gets worse and worse every year. Yeah, people are doing this stuff more and more because of social media, right? Not saying people wouldn't do bad stuff before, but I mean, like, particularly to get famous, right? We see it more and more. The anti to get famous, it's definitely a thing, of course. And then this guy is using his, well, we didn't see his quirk. I don't know what he does yet, but I guess he's pretty strong because he was like, I can fight like 5 people. That being said, though, all those 5 guys were clearly pointed to be like kind of like low-ranked heroes. They weren't like he defeated any actually strong heroes, of course not. He didn't like defeat any one of the actual named characters. I don't even None of the heroes appeared there I've never seen before. May correct me if I'm wrong, but they were all like, random new heroes that we probably never see again. So yeah, like he didn't defeat a single actual like competent hero, I suppose. So he mightn't be that strong. It doesn't feel like he's gonna be that strong, honestly. I think that it's very obvious from the episode itself, right? And coming back to the whole team here, right? That he's clearly gonna go to the country festival place and fight the kids, right? Or kidnap Eri, probably. Something probably with Eri, right? Because they're like, yeah, we're gonna get Eri there, and it feels like in the end of the episode we see Eri, she's like, I wanna be happy, and I feel that Eri is gonna be involved with him, unfortunately, probably gonna kidnap her or something. Probably something like that. That would be my guess. But I was gonna say, I mean, I think he is. I like the idea. But it also feels like he's a bad guy that you won't really like that much. He has a very gentle personality. Yeah, so he clearly has a very out there personality. So he might be kind of fun and so on. But at the same time, it's kind of bad guy. Where you're gonna feel more pity over him. It's like a crazy, I want to get famous guy, and without no actual depth to his bad guy manics, right? Yeah. So in that sense, I hope he doesn't have too much screen time, because unless he can be redeemed, I suppose. But otherwise, he feels like a guy that's just he's evil, but he's very, very low bit evil, right? He's evil, but he's evil more like a selfish, I want to get famous. Doesn't actually seem to really hurt other guys. He kind of defeats them to take the money. So there is some, how to say it, grey soul with him. He doesn't actually want to hurt people, doesn't actually want to take their money and so on, but he wants to get famous no matter what, right? He's very, very selfish. But again, he's no, world domination, he's no, destroying the planet bad guy. So he's a very, very, very shallow bad guy, right? To what I know so far. I mean, I've seen one episode, but I'm saying that he feels like he's very, very shallow in that sense. He might have so much deeper to it, but I think they're gonna kind of, focus on that. But at the same time, though, that's good writing, because he's very, very shallow. He's all about the fame, right? It's all about just getting famous. Doesn't really care about actually doing something, right? Actually doing something evil. It's more like, I just want to get famous. How they're famous, is to go and get famous. Yeah, doesn't actually care about the consequences, right? And has no actual end goal of conquer the planet. It's more like, I get famous. Yeah, it doesn't have actually a super complicated bad plan, right? Yeah. So in that sense, I think he's not going to be very important for the arc. I think it's going to be in the arc. It's going to be clearly the bad guy of the arc. But I feel it's going to be more of a comedic effect, right? He's going to do stuff. This is my guess, completely right, but I think he's going to do stuff, and it's going to be, no one is actually going to get hurt, and I feel that the stakes won't be that high, because he doesn't actually seem to hurt people. So he's, like he said, but he might kidnap Eri, but it's probably going to do it in some kind of a comedic way to kind of get famous, right? Get some kind of clicks and likes. Yeah, like the video, guys. Yeah, so I think he's going to do more that sense, and that's why I think the stakes, again, that won't be feeling actually high at all. And because of that, I hope he doesn't get too much, screen time either in that sense, because it's going to be probably pretty obvious when he appears that it's like, yeah, he's doing this stuff, but doesn't actually matter what he's doing. Probably not so much, because he is probably pretty weak in the end. He probably has some kind of weird power, I mean. Yeah, I think that, from my guess, we didn't see his quirk, but I will guess that his quirk is a tricky quirk, right? Where he fights people, and they are like, what is he doing? But he's like, I lost, what happened? Yeah. I think that's kind of his quirk. It's a kind of magical, trickster quirk in somehow. And that is, of course, why he didn't show that, right? He didn't show the actual fight with him defeating the heroes, because his quirk might be some kind of mind control, it might be some kind of quirk where he, makes everyone fall asleep or something, right? So his quirk is probably something that isn't actually very good to fight with, if the people actually know what you can do, right? Yeah. So some kind of trickster power, or again, some kind of status alignment thing. And if Deku or someone else actually knows what he can do, they can probably easily defeat him. And that is why he's like, oh, don't show this thing on the video yet. Don't show me actually fighting anyone, because they're gonna know what I can do and they can prevent my abilities. That would be my guess. He definitely would not have some kind of physical quirk, unless super speed, I guess. But he's very unlikely. He's I can muscle up and defeat them and so on. Yeah, doesn't really fit that. But because then he would just, of course, record that, right? Then he should record that, and of course show him, defeating them, by his badass moves, right? So yeah, unlikely he's a martial artist or physical guy. That seems weird, because then why wouldn't he show it? Except, I guess, if it's a kind of very, very meta thinking here, that if he's shown that, he wouldn't be able to upload the video, because the video would be too, I guess. that could be a reasoning. It's like the manga and anime here. It's like, well, he couldn't actually do, too much fighting, but then the video would be like, there would be like a bad video. So that's why he like clipped away the bad stuff. That could be the reason. But I know that would be an interesting take on it. Like he knows the rules of the platforms and so on. He knows that. Yeah, that would be interesting. But I doubt it very much. If it's much more like he's just has the power that if you understand how it works, you can probably easily defeat him. Some kind of trickster power in that sense. And and my point then is that when he gets to the festival, because he obviously is gonna get it right, he's probably gonna be able to defeat everyone probably easily in the beginning, right? And then Deku was almost like, wait, that was kind of weird. I'm suddenly over here, or I'm sleeping now, or yeah. And then they're gonna figure out how he actually his power works, and then they can probably defeat him. It's more like a puzzle game to defeat him probably than actually beating him up, right? Especially because he doesn't actually hurt people, so he's like probably can't. He's just gonna actually defeat anyone for real, right? He's gonna make them like oh he's over, yeah. Probably. I'm guessing, of course, but that's why we do this review as assuming and so on. But anyway, he's clearly gonna get it right. And then we have festival stuff with Harry, and of course, every moment is really sad. Harry doesn't know that Sensei's dead, I guess, given what they said there. To not tell her the worst thing that someone died for her sake, which makes sense. But I felt it was more sad, for the boys, right? And the sense is like, yes, maybe she can handle this talking. And I was like, oh, maybe Migo can't handle the talk. And she's like, oh, Glasses Man died. And I was like, yeah, Glasses Man, we're here, where's him? Because basically she was like, where is, Mr. Glasses, right? And he's like, oh, he's fine, little girl, he's fine, yeah. I felt the Miro was more like, can Miro handle this stuff? And he's like, I'm the best boy, don't be worried, little girl. Be happy, go to Cat Festival. So yeah, I think next episode maybe seems to be more about Jiro doing her band stuff, right? Getting her band together. That can be pretty cool. Kaminari obviously shipped them. Obviously he's gonna be in her band. You see him in the preview with a guitar or maybe a bass, but he is clearly gonna play with her band. I mean, he wants to be with her, right? And very obvious he wants to support her musical career, and he's they have best. The thing is, I mentioned earlier, right? There's so many scenes between them, right? I think My Academia lost a lot, right? There's been a lot of shipping from the beginning of My Academia, right? It's a couple of characters that always have done a lot of stuff together, right? Yeah, he's very Hero definitely makes the school something like that. Yeah, there's very clear couple or couple of friends, right? Group of friends or couples that are hanging out together several times in several arcs, right? Of these two cats together, yeah. And I mean, we see her with Kaminari several times, right? Like in the beginning of the anime, immediately. They've been doing stuff together, right? So, and again here he's very interested in her, knows her passion, knows about her, her what she actually feels, right? Sees through her lies, because all the characters are like, she said that thing. Like Ida is like, okay, and he's like, no, she's lying clearly. Why are you accepting her lie? Yeah, like because if Ida, maybe badly, Ida is a rep there, but still though, if Ida was more in tune with her emotions. Maybe he would be like, are you sure on that? Don't you want to do these things? Yeah, but Ida is like, yeah. Because Ida is pretty much, very oblivious stuff, right? So it makes sense, right? And so it's clear, he's obviously going to be in her band. Like, it's very clearly. Because again, they're always together, and he wants to be with her, right? At least from like a friendship standpoint. At bare minimum, he wants to support her career as a musician, right? But I think it's obviously more like a romantic thing there too. But I think it's good, right? And I mean that I liked the the Kirishima Red Riot thing with when he was with Jiro, right, in his backstory. I love that thing. Suddenly, this been seen with them before as well, and then suddenly she's in his backstory, and that was a really good backstory. I mean, it's a perfect backstory, but it also because his whole moment he couldn't run. I love this. Yeah, but anyway, it's also cool because it also explained her personality. Kind of quickly give us a Ashido breaky and backstory as well, right? Yeah, and then of course they have a romance. Just like I support you, you're cool now, and yeah, that stuff, right? So there's a lot of that coupling definitely in My Academia. It's very shipping, it's an anime with a lot of ships. But in that sense, though, I think it makes sense because it's also a school setting anime. Even though it doesn't feel like a school a lot of the time in this anime because they're not fighting back all the time. This is supposed to be a school setting, and then of course you have a lot of like romantic, between the two characters, right? Because it's a school setting, and now then going into a cultural festival setting, the very very classic anime setting when they do this music stuff and haunted house and the maid coffee and so on, right? it's always gonna be like romantic scenes, right? Because that is culture festival. No, but it is right. Like I said, know the video, but if it's one thing that's very true, not for this anime, but for like like drama, horror anime and so on, right? For they have like 3 girls or more, once one guy, so like 5 girls usually, right? Once one guy, like for example, I'll say Nisekoi, Boku, study anime, Boku band, whatever, so on. In all those animes, they have a culture festival episode, and then all the girls are like, I have to kiss the main guy, yeah, or I have to be with him doing this stuff, yeah. They're always like focused on trying to get the main boy right during that. So of course, those are romantic anime straight up, right? So but it's always like that. So it's a very, very tropey thing that you have to have some kind of relationship during the festival, right? With several characters. And this anime, I don't think it's going to go into that at all. I mean, to some degree, obviously not. But it might have a little bit better. They might have a little bit of like, this is school festival, romance will happen, right? I think that a little bit. Obviously, this anime never really goes into it. But you have Urika, and she's like looking at Deku. It's like, Deku-kun. So I think my anime has always been doing, to some degree, right, romance stuff, without going into too much detail. But they still have clear romantic feelings and so on. So it might obviously gonna be a few scenes with that, right? Or I mean, we will have them, I guess, I suppose, I would claim, with Kaminari. But anyway, that's reviews. See you guys next week with more My Academia. So for that, of course, today we're doing In the Speeches Reviewers, best anime ever. That's coming up today in about 5 hours from now, yeah, which is of course the best shit ever.